everyone, and welcome to today's Product Update webinar. I'm Brad Cronland, the Director of Strategy and Innovation at Oak Street Funding, and I'm thrilled to have you with us today. Our session is all about the launch of the latest version of MyStreet, and I'm excited to introduce our expert application developer, Jimmer, who's going to walk us through a demo and highlight the new features that we've incorporated into the platform. As most of you have already used MyStreet, we believe that you're going to find the improvements that we've made in terms of design and functionality excellent. If you have any questions during the presentation, please don't hesitate to ask Jimmer by typing them in the chat box on the right-hand side of your screen. And before I pass it on to Jimmer, please note that to protect customer information, you will be viewing MyStreet in webinar mode, so you will see fictional names and emails. Without further ado, I turn it over to Jimmer to walk us through the features. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. I am Jimmer, and I'll be your guide today as we take a little stroll through the new version of MyStreet we have here. Real quick, as you can see, this is our login screen. Everyone's most exciting and favorite part of a website, and just kind of, you got your username and password and a general rundown of all the things you can do here on MyStreet. So if you happen to forget your username or password, a little link right here that'll pop up and walk you through that process. It's assuming you've forgotten your password because that's more common. If you forget your username, we got a little link down here. Luckily, I remember my username and password. I can go ahead and type those in. And once you get logged in, you are going to see your loan dashboard. So if you are a new customer to Oak Street, you're going to have, well, first let's start at the top. We've got our main menu up here. So you've got your dashboard, document repository, and settings. We're going to get to both of those here in a little bit. Further over to the right, we've got this select a loan dropdown, which is going to show you all the loans either already funded or in process that you have with us. And the little bell icon on the right will have any notification messages. So we'll see that when we get to the checklist here in just a minute. But if you have new messages from us, those will show up here. And then finally, this is your log out icon for when you're done working in MyStreet. So those are the same across all the pages here on MyStreet. So let's dive right into the dashboard. Here in the upper left, we have your loan in process section. So if you're currently working through an application and trying to get a new deal funded, this will be a little summary of how that's going. Got your loan amount, your loan status, which is where you are in the process, and then these colored bubbles here will tell you where you are on your checklist, how many outstanding items that you still need to do, pending and completed. And we'll get into the details on those here in just a second. To the right of that, you're going to have your loan history. This is going to list, again, all of the details with a summary on each of those. Since this one is in process, we just have the loan amount. But for funded loans, you'll get a little more detail on the status of that loan. And then right below all of that, you'll have your team here. So you've got quick links for their phone numbers, faxes. So you've got your phone number, faxes, and emails right here if you want to reach out to someone on your team. Or if you're ready to request a new deal, you've got a little button here where you can pop up and shoot out a request, and we'll get back to you as soon as we can on that. So you've come to your dashboard. You want to see, where am I doing? Where am I on this loan? And what do I need to do next? So you can either click on View Checklist or click this little In Process link on the history. They're all going to take you to the same place. If we click on that here, this is going to take us to kind of the In Process view for that loan, where we can see where you are and what you need to do next. So our summary is still over here on the left. The meat and potatoes of this page is your to-do list. So this is your checklist. It's going to be categorized here. as you can see. And you can click on any of these categories to expand that out and see all of the different checklist items that you have for this deal. So some color coding going on here. The green ones with the check mark, that means you've already done that item and that we're happy with everything there. We don't need anything else from you. Red means we haven't gotten anything, we're still waiting. And yellow is pending, so maybe you've already sent us something and we just have to confirm that we have everything we need there and we're ready to go. The next icon over on here is a little chat bubble with 3 dots. So if you click on that, it's going to show you kind of the activity on that checklist and any messages back and forth between us. That'll be on there. If you had a question on one of these items, you can just type in here and say, is this everything you need? Go ahead and click on send, and that's going to pop right into that conversation there. And then we'll get back to you as soon as we can on that. The little cloud with the up arrow, this is our upload icon. So this checklist item in Oak Street Forms, if you are ready to upload that, you can click on this. You're going to get a little pop-up. It's going to tell you which item you're uploading to, and then you can either drag and drop your files into this box, or if you click on that, it'll do a little pop-up and let you file on your computer. As you're working in the checklist, you can collapse and expand all these checklist sections and work through those lists. If you see this little question mark circle, that's going to give you a little more detail on what we're asking for there. So it just kind of helps add a little color to let you know exactly what we're looking for in case there's any question there. Some of the checklist items will have this little blue document icon with a down arrow. That's to download a template. So that'll just give you an example of what we're looking for, in this case, the company bylaws. So feel free to click on those and check those out as a good reference for what we're asking for in those. Another useful feature here on the to-do list is the button where right up here will hide all of your completed checklist items. So as you're doing more and more of your checklists and getting those done, you can just click on that. So you only see the ones where you still might need to do something. And if you need to go back, just toggle that button again and everything shows right back up. And you can also export the list, your checklist at any time, and then you'll have a little file out that you can reference back and see what all we're waiting on. To the right of your checklist, we have something new that we didn't have in the current version of MyStreet, which is your milestone timeline. This is just kind of a quick snapshot of the different steps in our process and how we're doing on each one. So as everything moves along, these boxes will get checked. This documents uploaded one will get checked once the checklist is done. And then you'll move on through our process until we get this loan closed and funded. And again, on this page, you also have your team available here for quick links should you need it. That we're going to jump over to the document repository. It's a very fancy name for a place where we can send or receive files from each other. It's going to be grouped into folders, and anything that has been either sent to you or sent from you is going to be listed in one of these folders. If you want to upload anything to here, you can click on this Upload Documents button at the top. It's going to look very much like the upload from the checklist. The only difference is you can pick which folder you can save it to, depending on which ones you're allowed to. And then you have the download button where you can simply select hold multiple files or just a folder, whatever you need, and click download, and it'll download those files straight to your computer. And that's really all there is going on a document repository folder. Now, real quick, I'm going to jump over to a different deal so we can take a look at what a loan that is already funded looks like, because they've got some other things going on. So I'm going to load this up real quick. As you can see, this one has a more full history, multiple funded deals. So on each of these, you can see, when the loan was funded, the amount, what's outstanding, how much interest has been paid year to date, some details like that. And go ahead, you can either click on any of these loans here, or also at any time you can just select one from the drop down up here to jump to that loan. So we're going to take a look and jump over to this one. This is our funded loan page. And on the left here, you're going to get a quick summary of just balance and also how your recent payments were applied. So this is kind of a summary of your how much of your payments this year to date were applied towards principal. And then we've got a more generalized summary of what you've paid so far with this little donut chart over here, letting you know when your loan starts, when it's going to end, and what you've paid so far, how many payments are remaining. As we scroll down here, you've got all the payments you've made on this loan to date with your totals at the top. You can export this, and so you can have that available anytime you need it. We also have a year-to-date button, so if you just want to know what you've paid this year, you can click on that, and that'll filter it down to just the year. You can click to go back if you want. Down below our payment section, we have the amortization schedule. So it starts out with this graph showing what your loan is projected to do over time. So we can see the remaining principal going down as the principal interest paid going up. To the graph, it's just a summary of what your current remaining principal is and how much interest and principal you've paid to date and when you're expected to pay off. Below that graph, we have the list of all of your projected payments for the rest of the loan. So just a nice summary that's available there. We've got the export button available right up here should you need to export those for any purpose. All right, so we've seen an in-process loan, walked you through the checklist, doc repository, and there's everything on a funded loan. I think next up, I'm going to show you what it looks like to get into your account settings. I'll move this account real quick. So to go to your account settings, you have your settings option up here on the menu at the top. And for security purposes, you will have to log in again once you get to this page to make any changes. And we've got three main sections here on your settings page. Your general settings allows you to put in a new password. You can also change your security question and answer should you need to. One extra security function we have is you can use two-factor authentication. So if you set this up, the website, anytime you log in, will either text or call you with a code just to confirm that is you. So if you want to add that extra layer of security, you can use this button, enter in your phone number, and we'll take care of it from there. The Manage Login section is a spot where you can add or manage any child logins. So if you have someone else in your business that you want to give access to MyStreet so they can do some work on here and help you out. You can come in here and either pick an existing account or add a new one and manage them. You can delete these accounts at any time so that they no longer have access. And then finally, we have the loan nicknames. So I know lots of people just love staring at loan numbers all day, but if you're not one of those people, you can put in a little nickname here. And if we make that change, then now when I come up here to the loan drop down, I'm going to see whatever nickname I gave that loan available. Just to help you keep things organized if you have a number of loans with us. And there are a few other things depending on the specifics of your deal that might show up in the menu up here at the top, but these are the ones that apply across the board to all of our deals. And I think that should be a good start to get you going. We're definitely hoping you all enjoy this new experience much more than the current one. If there's anything you don't like it, be sure to reach out to your customer representative and give us that feedback. We're happy to get it, and we'll see what we can do to improve the experience for you. But other than that, I think that covers everything I have to show you on the new site. So with that, I'm going to toss it back to Brad, and then we'll open it up for questions.
All right, thanks for that demo, Jimmer. We did have a few questions come in, so I will get right to it. As we go along, if you have additional questions, you have questions after the fact, please type them in the chat box and we will try to answer them. If we don't get to yours, or if you want to reach out to your servicer or loan officer, they can help you find those answers you might need as well. So I'll take the first question, which is, how do I access the new version? Well, on the MyStreet login page, instead of logging in, click the big button that says click here to try the new MyStreet site. That'll take care of you. You'll be in the new version. Eventually, you're automatically going to be taken to the new website as we sunset the old one, but that'll be in the future. Next question. Jimmer, I'm going to throw this one to you. Does MyStreet work on mobile? And as part of that, do you need to download an app?
Those are great questions. So yes, it does work on mobile. Let me fire up a test here where I can show that off. So once this gets logged in, we're going to be in full screen mode, and then I will show you roughly what it looks like once we load it up on a phone. And kind of back to the first question, to log in to the new site. This is the current MyStreet login page. We've just added a big button here where you can click here to try out the new site. Eventually, as Brad mentioned, we'll just be directing you to the new site, but for now it's up to you. You can click this button if you're ready to try it out. Okay, so here is our full screen view of the website to kind of get an idea of what it looks like on. We can shrink this down. You're still going to have all the same things you have before. It's just going to be squished and more vertical. Your menu, instead of being across the top, is going to be in this little section here. I think it's called a hamburger menu if you want to be fancy about it, or if you're hungry. And yeah, that's how it looks on mobile, and it kind of has a responsive changes. It kind of grows and expands. If you're on a tablet or whatever size screen you're working on, it should adjust to that.
Okay. Well, thank you. The next question is, will my current username and password work? And I can take that one. The answer is yes. There's no need to create a new username, a new password. Everything's going to be the same there. Your existing login will work, but if you do need to reset your password for whatever reason, Jimmer went through those steps earlier in the demo, and we're going to be sending out a recording of this video, so you'll be able to review that and see that again. Next question, Jimmer, I'm going to have you take this one, is how do I request a draw on a line of credit?
Sure. So requesting a draw, pretty similar the way you did requests on the current version of MyStreet. So once we pick a specific loan and we're on the active loan screen here with our donut chart, in the summary section on the left, you've got request in advance, which is your draws right there. You can also request amortization extensions, maturity extensions, and pay downs. All of those requests, if you're used to doing those, will still be here just in this summary section on the top left once you've selected a loan and are viewing that loan.
Right. Well, I think that's all the questions that we have so far. So I want to thank you for joining us. I hope you enjoy the new MyStreet. Thank you and have a great rest of the day.